Hey everyone, welcome to Quickscope Podcast. We're your host Eric and Serge, and we're here to talk about one of our passions, which is video games. Again, we're brought to you by Higher Passion. We're excited to be here. We're waiting on to see if Eric joins right now, Boots. But regardless, I think we want to start and get going with this because we got some exciting updates to talk about. Very and more specifically, we're talking about Sony updates, right? I want to talk about these Sony updates, and we're gonna get onto other subjects as well. But obviously, me being a PS4, PS5 guy, I want to talk about these because it's been causing a little controversy right now in the gaming community. Firstly, I want to start by saying that Sony is has been getting a lot of their games that were supposed to be exclusive for PS5, and they've been porting them both to Xbox and to PS4. So there's been a lot of backlash on this. Serge, what do you think about this? From like a, I know you do a lot of PC gaming, you do a lot of Xbox. Like, what do you think
Yeah.
about that?
I mean, I think it's good for gaming in general, right? I mean, the more accessibility of games to people, I think the whole exclusive thing is kind of just dumb in my eyes. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, that was back in the day. Exclusives were awesome. It was a bad, console wars. But
yeah, yeah,
nowadays, everyone just wants to play the game, right? Everyone wants to just have access to these games. So it's good for gaming. It's not good for, I guess, PS players who enjoy those exclusives. As Xbox players, we don't really have exclusives. Halo, I guess, but that's still on PC
yeah.
anyways, right? I think now it's going to PC. So it's like, as long as everybody has access to the games, I don't think anybody should be upset. But I understand why PS players are upset because that is kind of the draw of PlayStation, right?
Yeah, exactly. The draw of the PlayStation, especially PS5, was one of the big ones was Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man coming out,
Yeah.
the Horizon, the sequel to Zero Dawn, and what was it like Sackboy, or those that were like fully
Yeah.
taking advantage of the new generation of consoles. And I think they were, right? I think those games did
Yeah.
take advantage of it, of the new like the haptics, the dual sense, everything that was new to the generation, but they still came out on PS4. So a lot of people that went out of the way to buy the PS5s are just like left in the dirt. It's like, all right, well, we had these exclusives and they came out for the
Yeah.
previous generation anyway, so why did I buy a PS5? And then on top of that, I know with every generation, even if you are like a dedicated Xbox player or PlayStation player, when you're moving on to the next generation, you still compare, right? Like even if you're coming
Yeah.
from a PS4, sure you have that like you want to lean towards PS5, but you're still going to compare it to the new Xbox Series S and Series X, regardless.
Yeah.
Um, so I think a lot of the reasons that people may have gone to PS5 are now moot points. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, which is why it sucks because those people who are buying the PS5s are the most loyal
Yeah,
PlayStation, buyers. So they feel like they're not being, I guess, thought of first. Those are the ones making your money. They're buying your games right off the bat. They're buying all your consoles. They're buying
yeah,
everything. So yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, games should be out there, and this whole exclusive thing for me personally needs to just kind of just go away. I know, maybe have one game that's an exclusive that can draw to your game, but like, gamers just want a game, and that's
oh
really
yeah,
the
definitely.
the the, the most important thing, I think.
Yeah, I think so. What Xbox had going for them like really big was their Game Pass, right? And
Yeah,
that's been, I mean, we've seen it, right? It's been doing
it's
wonders for
huge.
them up until now.
Yeah,
And I think to kind of compete with that, Sony was saying, well, we believe in generations. We believe in, I forgot what generation this is now, like four, five, six, like it's like seven or eight, generation seven or eight.
yeah,
And it's like we believe in generations, we believe in generational games, and we're fully committed, but now they're just playing games themselves. It's almost
yeah,
like it kind of fell apart. They don't really know what they're doing now because at the same time you have developers that will develop for the new generation, but at the same time they want to show all the other consoles and like PC that hey, we're a developer, we can develop for you too. So it for a
yeah,
developer, an exclusive deal would make sense, just depending on the contract on what's there. But as of now, it just looks like getting your game to as many people as possible is what's going to be the most successful, right? We saw it with Fortnite,
Definitely.
we saw it with Apex, we've seen it with all these battle royales and their cross-platform form functionality. But even when it comes to single player games, like you've seen it with a lot of single player games lately, but I think that's what PS4 had going for them. They're single player games, right? Last of
Yeah.
Us, right? You're not going to see that on an Xbox.
Yeah.
Same with
Yeah.
the Spider-Man game. But even if it's sure you're not going to see another console, but there's no specific PS5 exclusive that is really taking anything, right? It's still
Yeah.
on PS4. So
Yeah. Definitely.
and in my eyes, I mean, it's still the PS5s are still in demand. They're still on backlog. It's still hard to
Yeah.
get one. So I mean, people are still buying them up, but at the same time,
Yeah.
there's a little regret there, and people are still kind of waiting. But I don't know how long they'll be willing to wait before they just kind of give up on getting
Yeah.
the
At
PS5
that point, you
exclusives.
just might as well buy a PC,
Yeah,
or you just spend your money on a PC. Yeah. So the thing is that consoles need to understand that they need to work against PC. I mean, it's not. I mean, of course, it's
yeah.
competition, right? But I feel like they're working against the consoles, but the real threat is PC, right?
Mm-hmm.
PC has everything that they want to be.
Yep.
They're just their console, right? That they're you don't have to spend $1,000 on a decent PC. I guess that's their only
Yeah.
good thing, I guess, going for them.
Yeah.
So they definitely need to do something to fight against PC players, and then giving everything to PC. Obviously, the exclusives are not enough, I think, for them at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, and even now, like you're seeing developers that originally were like Blizzard, for example. I mean, were originally just a PC developer.
Yeah.
They came out with Overwatch, came out on consoles, and
Yeah.
now we have Wild Rift that came out as a mobile game. I think they have their Diablo mobile game as well, and
Hmm.
they're working on the Wild Rift for consoles. So they're getting into the console game as well, but at the same time, like the PC games understand, and these developers are creating the games for both PC and consoles. But I don't think the consoles, or at least right now, doesn't seem like PlayStation understands that people want to be
Yeah.
able to play these games all over the place, and
Hmm.
and they might be, I don't know, scared that they'll lose a lot of hardware purchases if they start letting the like not creating exclusive deals on games. Um, I and I could see that makes sense. Like you
Yeah.
want someone to buy a PS5 because of Last of Us, because of Spider-Man, because of God of War, because of all these games.
Yeah.
But as of now, you can still get those on PS4, so you might lose out on people purchasing that additional
Yeah.
hardware anyway.
I guess that's what the smart thing about Xbox or Microsoft did, was that they focused on their Game Pass. So now people aren't strictly, oh, I have to buy an Xbox to play Game Pass. I can buy it on PC. I
Yeah.
can play it on PC. I can do so. It's just so much more versatile. They understood that they had to change the way gamers played, right, or the way gamers
Oh
consumed,
yeah.
their games. So um, PlayStation is being left in that. Like I said, PlayStation is doing great, but I feel like they're being left behind. People don't see it, but I think they're Xbox and Microsoft really do get, I guess, what the future is, and people just want access to these games on their Xbox, on their computers,
Yeah, for sure.
and yeah,
Yeah. Even with this said though, Sony has made some good decisions lately. One of them is that the new PS5 update now allows users to store games on external USBs, right? So before you either had to, I don't even know if PS5 has a higher tier PS5 right now that has more
yeah,
storage. Um, but I know Xbox does. Did Xbox have
yeah.
like a storage that you can switch out?
Yeah,
Okay.
they don't have a storage, but they had this where you could plug
Okay.
in the external. They had that for a while, I
Yeah.
think. Even back on the Xbox One, and I honestly had no idea that PS5 didn't have, or that PlayStation didn't
Yeah.
have it, and it's like, how are these people playing Modern Warfare on
Yeah.
their on their PlayStation and having other games? Like
Yeah.
Modern Warfare alone is 400 gigabytes. I don't even imagine. I can't even
It's
imagine
that big
how many
now?
games they have on. It's probably 5 games. Yeah, it's
Jeez.
ridiculous. So you need just one external USB or hard drive just to play Warzone.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I think
I'm glad that they made that
yeah, it
change.
makes sense that Microsoft already had that on the Xbox, right? But for
Yeah,
PlayStation to have to wait this long, I guess it's good news, but it's not necessarily them being ahead. It's them catching up.
yeah,
But we'll see where that goes. I know it was something a lot of people were asking for, but again, this is for
yeah,
PS5, not for the PS4.
yeah.
But one,
I guess
go
maybe
ahead.
this. Oh, sorry. I was thinking maybe this, like you said, they're behind this because they're, I guess Sony in a sense they are a big player in, I guess, the technical age, but they obviously they're more known for their TVs and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But Microsoft has so much more resources to develop and to, um, you know, developing the hardware rather than Sony, where they're focusing on so many other things, not just
Yeah.
their console.
I
I
mean,
guess
I
if
mean,
that makes
yeah,
sense.
Sony is so big. I mean, they're separated into different companies, right? You
Yeah, yeah,
have I used to work at Sony Pictures. They have
yeah,
PlayStation, obviously, based out here in San Diego, and then they have
mhm,
the Sony Electronics and all these other like subdivisions, and they're all their own entities. They all work but at the same time, like, yeah, PlayStation should have access to this because of their relationship to Sony Electronics, right? So they
yeah,
should have had this, in my opinion, a while ago. So,
yeah, definitely.
um, but one thing that they did get that is like crazy news is Sony buying. Did they buy it or did they go into a partnership with Discord?
I think they went into
Partnership.
partnership.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
It was Microsoft that was trying to buy Discord. They were
yeah,
trying to purchase Discord, but then Sony kind of swooped in and went into a partnership with Discord, and I mean that's awesome news. That is
definitely.
probably one of the like biggest news for me personally because I play on PS4, and then
Yeah,
obviously PS5 eventually, but the I have a lot of friends that use Discord, and occasionally
yeah,
like I'm literally like playing right here, my TV's right here. I'm playing PlayStation. I have my headset on for my gaming, and then I have little headphones in so I can talk to my friends on Discord because they're all playing on PC. So
yeah.
and I mean, let's face it, in-game chat is probably your last option, right?
It's
Yeah,
horrible.
it is not good. Um, and you definitely want to use something like Discord or
Yeah,
yeah, there's a few others you could use. But even
yeah,
then it's abysmal. I think even playing like on PlayStation, most people use the PlayStation chat instead of the in-game chat. And I think on Xbox,
yeah.
same thing, right? You create a party.
Same thing. Yeah, yeah,
It just makes way more sense than using the in-game chat. But now with this, obviously nothing has come out yet, but with this partnership announced, I mean, being able to open up a Discord app on your console and then joining your a Discord server, Discord group that you created, and being able to play with PC players, but in your own chat, that's a game changer. Because and not only PC players, like if Microsoft gets on top of it and they're able to get the Discord application on the
yeah,
Xboxes too, I mean that'll facilitate between PlayStation and Xbox players as well, being able to play. Yeah, I have plenty of
yeah.
friends like you guys. You guys play on Xbox.
Yeah, you play
Yeah,
platform
yeah,
as
all the
well. Yeah,
time.
so yeah, that's what I'm hoping. I guess that's the thing that made me a little sad. I was like, I hope Sony doesn't make it this one thing that they gotta have
Another
exclusive. This
exclusive.
Discord's exclusive. It's like, like really, like just the right thing for them to do. Hopefully they do well. I thought Microsoft would have done better with Discord,
Yeah,
but it is Sony now, I guess, and hopefully they do the right thing and they, like you said, they add it to Xbox and just make it to where everyone has access to Discord because Discord's amazing. It's a game changer for gaming, for anything, for communities in
yeah,
general. It's big for streamers, for YouTube and stuff. It's just a big platform, and hopefully that they do add that to Xbox. But it's big for Sony. They came out of nowhere. We all thought it was in Microsoft, and it was I
yeah,
personally thought it was going to be a perfect. It's a match made in
yeah,
heaven for Microsoft. So hopefully Sony doesn't screw this up because Discord is it's a big deal.
yeah.
So
I
for gamers in
I'm
general.
hoping it's just gonna have this like simple integration with Discord where like it'll show you, hey, your friend's online on PlayStation playing this game, and then you can join a server and that's it. Like I hope that's the only integration they're going for, and
Yeah.
it won't like block off Microsoft from doing something. I know, and I'm with you. I was excited when I found out that Microsoft was trying to purchase Discord because they already have their Teams software, which
Yeah.
works really well. Like I use it for work, and obviously you can use it for video chat, for conference calls, and even for file sharing, like all this stuff. Like so yeah, they understand the infrastructure behind this type of software already. So then them
Yeah.
if they had purchased Discord, I believe they would have known exactly what to do with it also. So
Yeah.
and even maybe even integrate it with Teams in some way. I don't know. So uh, PlayStation buying it though, or I mean Sony purchasing it or going into partnership with them. Um, I think regardless, it's a step in the right direction for
Definitely.
everyone. But like you
Yeah.
said, hopefully they're not blocking anything off from other consoles coming in and be able to
Yeah.
do it. Like imagine being able to do it like with a Switch also. Like that'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's something that will help all
Yeah.
games in general. Just make the experience a lot easier, and not have that. This whole yeah. Remember, I don't think anybody remembers that we used to have to play with only Xbox people, only PlayStation. So it's just another step in like creating unity in all of
Yeah.
gamers and not separating everybody. So hopefully they do good with it. And we'll see what
Yeah.
happens.
Speaking of creating unity with gamers, not too long ago we were talking about GameStop, right? And how so many
Yep.
people came in and purchased GameStop stock and was really like behind it and unifying behind one company to stop it from going out of business. Also, give it to the man. um,
Yeah.
and we talked about GameStop and what they could do. I think so far we haven't really heard anything different come out of what GameStop is doing with their business model. And I think
Yeah.
that's interesting. And the reason I want to come back to this is because we just saw the same thing happen with AMC, right? So AMC stock skyrocketed again. People online got behind the stock, started purchasing it, and brought AMC back to like a really good value. And obviously, perfect timing with us coming back to normal life. So a lot of people being able to go back
Yep.
to the movie theaters. But AMC came out and said that they are looking for a way to reward the people that purchase stock. And not only
Yeah.
that, they're like going one step further of like trying to get people like free popcorn, even like free movies, just for
Yeah.
owning AMC stock. And I think it's a program that you're able to pay into, but you're only eligible if you own their stock. So it's like an owner's program. And I
Yeah.
thought that was so smart, right?
Yeah.
And like
Definitely.
AMC like jumped on top of it real quick. And I was thinking like, why doesn't GameStop do something like that? Like, could do
Yeah.
you think GameStop could do something like that?
They definitely could. I mean, at least what I heard from GameStop is that they're gonna try to switch over to focusing on developing their own electronics and like actually doing having some kind of game in, I guess, or stake in that kind of field rather than just selling the
Yeah,
games. But I mean, they should do some kind of like like you said, like loyalty program or a new stock owners program, something like that, because this is a once in a lifetime opportunity for them. They're being saved by these people. It's only nice to reward them. I think AMC understood that, and they understood that they had to be on top of it to kind of keep that momentum going and keep people in it
yeah,
involved. And like you said, coming back to normal life, I just went to the movies to AMC. You know, they have personally they have to switch all their theaters to make them all recliner seats and making it more of experience, because people rather just see the movie at home if they're not going for an experience and just sitting in you know bunched up seats
yeah,
to watch a movie. So I'm glad that they actually they understood it and are giving back to those stock owners. But hopefully GameStop does something with that. I mean, their stock is still at $200 and something, I think.
yeah,
So it's still up there. People are holding. So
yeah,
they have an opportunity. Hopefully they don't screw it up, because there's a lot of people that back them up and they saved their ass. Essentially, GameStop was going out of business
yeah,
easily.
yeah,
They're getting taken over. So it's only right that they can get back and don't screw this up.
yeah. Hopefully they can figure it out because I think it's really important to have companies like GameStop that are outside of the big names, like especially in gaming. you typically just see the developers and the owners of the hardware, and the in between is important, right? Obviously, other big retailers of video games are like Best Buy. Like Best Buy is still
Hmm.
one of the highest game sellers. Now Amazon, and
Yeah.
so it's hard to compete with that because obviously the gaming or selling games and consoles are just a small part of their full business model. Whereas GameStop, that was their whole business model. So
Yeah.
I think they're kind of in a pinch to figure something out, right? To do something different,
Yeah.
and I think they better do something quick. I think if they do something like what AMC did is some type of loyalty program or like I don't know like even if it's just like 10% or 20% off games if you can like prove that you purchase GameStop stock. I think
Yeah.
that in itself would get people to start buying more stuff from them just because hey, on top of whatever sale they have or whatever clearance items there are available, I get an extra percentage off because I bought the stock. It might
Hmm.
even drive people to go and purchase stock. I don't know the
Yeah.
legality behind that, but yeah, it might cause people to go and purchase stock and say, hey, I'm
Yeah.
just gonna buy this stock so I can get cheaper games or a discount on my
Yeah.
console, something like that.
Yeah, yeah. I think they do need to make a change in their business model. I don't think they can compete with Best Buy and a lot of these other companies, Amazon. It's really hard to compete with them,
Yeah,
especially now that everything's going digital. So they're gonna have to change something. Maybe they become some kind of like antique store where they sell like old games, old consoles, old games, some kind of, they're gonna have to change their model, or else they're not gonna survive. So we'll see what they do. Hopefully within a couple
yeah,
years, they make a big comeback. And it kind of maybe they're working on something right now.
yeah,
You never know. They have a lot of money right now, so they better be developing something.
yeah. I think they can make a big comeback, and I
Yeah,
think they were given a little more time recently to
yeah.
to get to
They,
do
they
that.
they just have to be open to change and understand the future. Understand the future of how people are going to consume media,
Hmm.
how people are going to consume games, and maybe get into VR. Yeah, that's probably
Yeah,
the future
and
of
if they're
gaming.
getting into hardware,
You
I
know?
think that's an obvious
Yeah,
next step. Like if they come out with
yeah,
hardware that works on both like PlayStation and Xbox and
yeah,
PC, like that'll be a game changer for
yeah,
them.
yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see. We're definitely still keeping a close eye on that. Even though the GameStop has gone out of the news lately, I think us as
Yeah,
gamers are still keeping a close eye on it just because we care, right? We want to see
yeah. It's
where
our
the goods.
childhood.
Yeah. Um. Speaking of our childhood, did you watch the Mortal Kombat movie?
I didn't, but I heard it was pretty bad. And the commercial was
Yeah,
amazing. They did a great job on really trying to sell you to get there, but man, I
yeah,
heard it was pretty bad. I honestly, when I hear a movie's bad, I don't watch it until way like a few months down the line whenever it's like on HBO or some
yeah.
some kind of like
It's on
TV.
HBO Max.
You
It
know.
was free.
Oh, is it on
Yeah.
HBO
Well,
Max?
I guess
Oh, then maybe I have to
I
watch it
think it's
there.
still on there. But yeah, it was okay. I think you mentioned bring you back to your childhood as a fan of the Mortal Kombat games and the previous Mortal Kombat movie, which is also wasn't very good. Uh, I I liked it just for the nostalgia of it. I thought it was cool. They brought in what a lot of people didn't like is the brand new character that they brought in. So it was an unknown character. It was brand new to the franchise, to the movie. Um, so a lot of people were kind of confused because the whole time you're trying to figure out like who is this guy? Like I don't remember him, or is he like one of
Yeah.
like the newer characters? But no, he was a brand new character created just for this movie. But other than that, like you obviously get the Sub Zero, Scorpion, the main ones, right? Raiden, all those, Liu Kang. Um, but the story itself was kind of lacking in that you never actually got to see the Mortal Kombat tournament.
Yeah.
It was all the action was trying to stop the Mortal Kombat tournament from happening, kinda, and it was just it was
That's
awkward. It was I
yeah,
think
that doesn't make
yeah,
any
it was
sense.
like bad story because
Yeah.
what people were going in to see was just a Mortal Kombat tournament, right? It's
Yeah, yeah.
like
That's kind of
fat
the
yeah,
point of
like
it.
Fast and Furious, right? When you go to watch Fast and Furious, you just want to see cars racing. Like that's a like you
Yeah.
just want to see action the whole time.
Action
And
packed.
I
Yeah.
think they spent so much time trying to develop this story that just never
Yeah.
hit when they
Yeah.
already have a story. I mean, they have Mortal Kombat the story, which has been proven to do well. Like Scorpion and Sub Zero have their own backstories, and the movie kind of retconned that and went in a different direction with it. But again, I said I like the movie. I like the movie just purely as an action movie. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
recommend it to like moviegoers that have never played Mortal Kombat. I'll recommend it both to people that have played Mortal Kombat and maybe people that are into like martial arts movies,
Yeah.
just because they got actual actors that know martial arts, so that was really cool. Uh, but other than that, I don't. It's not a a must see. It kind of goes in
Yeah.
line with a lot of the other video game movies that have come out. It's they a lot of
Yeah.
them fall short. I still think the best, most recent one is probably the Sonic movie that came out not too long ago. Uh, and I thought that one was pretty funny and family friendly and pretty cool. But Mortal Kombat just it tried to do a lot of different things and nothing really stuck.
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds like they really try to bring in a new crowd,
Yeah,
at least from what it portrayed himself as. And it's like, I mean, you already have kind of a crowd there, kind of just, I don't think you're gonna get that many people invested in the Mortal Kombat, if they haven't already been invested in Mortal Kombat. So, that kind of sounds like they kind of had a wrong idea of what they were trying to do with the movie.
yeah,
But yeah, I'll definitely have to watch it. As a kid, the the older Mortal Kombat movie wasn't horrible, I guess, as a kid. Now, if you watch it, it kind of looks terrible. But
exactly. Yeah.
yeah. But
I think that's what this
uh,
one will be. I feel like if you're
yeah,
like a teenage boy or something and you watch this Mortal Kombat, you probably thought it was
yeah,
super cool just because of the
yeah, yeah,
action
definitely,
sequences and all the special effects. Like all that all that was done really well. I thought all that was really cool.
yeah, yeah,
And but when it comes to like the storytelling, it falls short, but I mean,
yeah,
if you're a high school kid, well, you don't really care about that, right?
yeah, yeah.
at,
You don't
at
pay
least
attention to
at
that at
least
all.
the majority don't. Yeah,
Yeah,
so we'll see what the next video game movie uh that comes out is. But for now, I think this one fell a little short as a movie. But obviously, if you're a fan of the game, I still recommend you at least give it a shot. Just go watch it. Um, so I also wanted to get a little right now into kind of the state of gaming as a whole, because two things. First, we haven't really gotten any like big games lately or any new
nothing.
games since the consoles first came out around the holidays. And I know for a fact, I mentioned E3 earlier, so many developers just stop, like, don't release any games until the big reward shows, or yeah,
Yeah,
those big shows start coming out like E3. I know today and yesterday and today this weekend, it was the first indie game show. It's like the first big show of the season, of the E3 season per se, and this one was
yeah,
for independent games. Saw a couple cool games on there, but I want to do a full breakdown on that once the whole weekend's over, so we can probably do that next week or in some other episode.
cool.
But other than that, I mean, I haven't really seen any big games lately. So as far as the state of gaming goes, I think we just really need to focus on what the biggest games are right now, and it's kind of the same games that we've been seeing now for months, right? And one of the
Yeah,
more important ones, one of the bigger ones, is Apex Legends. I know we've talked about Apex Legends a lot on this podcast, but there's been a lot of polls done lately, like kind of ranking both multiplayer games and
yeah,
best battle royales, and Apex Legends has kind of surpassed Fortnite now. Like a lot of people are
yeah,
moving to Apex Legends to start playing, and I think that has a lot to do with with how intuitive they've been, how on top of making changes they've been, like making changes for the meta, also adding new characters, and even the new game mode, the new 3v3 game mode that people are
yeah,
now comparing to more along the lines of like Valorant and all these other games. Like I
yeah.
think they're staying relevant, and I don't know, maybe time will tell, but I'm kind of thinking they might pass Fortnite in terms of how relevant they are.
I Yeah, I definitely think so too because people want competitive
Yeah.
gaming. I think that's the main thing that Apex is focusing on right now. And they understand that where competitive gaming is, that's where the money is. So if you have competitive Apex at first it wasn't competitive. It was people were playing it for fun. There wasn't much ranked. Ranked obviously joined in a little bit. After they started, but Fortnite kind of the ranked. I mean the competitive scene of Fortnite is gone. Warzone's competitive scene is almost non-existent as well. So I mean, it's really Valorant and Apex at the moment, the competitive scene. So people are just really invested. Like I said, I've been playing Apex lately, and I wasn't. I played it when I first came out, but I stopped playing it for a while. And honestly, they've just been consistent. They've been really putting their effort into their ranked,
Mm.
and I think they just had their Apex Legends global series
Yeah.
today. Yeah, and then they're having a big
Yep.
tournament, $3 million tournament next week or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, so they understand. That's what Fortnite did, right, for the $10 million
Yeah.
tournament, and I think they are gonna one day pass Fortnite. Fortnite's kind of lacking. I think they,
Hmm.
they got complacent with where they were. Obviously, well, Call of Duty is always complacent on where they
Yeah.
are.
They
So
have
if
their
they're doing
niche.
okay, that's all they care about. They don't have to add anything.
Yeah.
They'll add one change to their map for every 3 months. Warzone's a great game, but God, they just don't add anything. It's the same stale game every
Yeah.
time.
That definitely.
So, and Apex really does that well. They switch the maps, every hour or something like that, hour and a half. So it's just really, it's been fun, and I think they're doing a good job. As far as the state of gaming, it's just kind of everyone's kind of teeter-tottering. It's either Fortnite, Apex,
Yeah.
Warzone. I guess all the same games we've been talking about for the last year. It seems like, right? Hopefully, I think Back to Blood is coming out this summer,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
So hoping that kind of brings a little bit of life, maybe to that, or we'll see what comes. Maybe some people start getting into VR. Um, I really don't know where gaming's going. I guess after
Yeah.
this, it kind of seems like we're in a dark, not a dark place, but like it's almost like no one knows what's gonna be next.
Nope.
Everyone's waiting for the next thing. I
Yeah, we'll
guess.
see. And I think it's interesting you bring up these other games too, because like especially with Fortnite, you saw Fortnite a lot of streamers fall off of Fortnite, and
Yeah.
like the just to name like the big ones, like Shroud has been playing a lot of Valorant, right?
Yeah.
Nick Merckx and Tim the Tatman obviously doing a lot of Warzone, and then Ninja. I mean, that's just playing League of Legends now on his stream. Like
Yeah.
they'll occasionally come back and do a Fortnite stream for a little bit, and then it's just like for an hour, like, hey, new update, or I'm just gonna go do all my
Yeah.
what are they called, like the tasks or the goals that come up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Challenges.
do
Yeah.
all my challenges for this season or for this chapter, and then I'm gonna go back to playing this other game. Yeah, and then people are jumping to like not only that to like escape from Tarkov and playing like indie games.
Yeah.
I've actually seen a lot of people start playing more both Teamfight Tactics and Hearthstone just for fun.
Yeah.
I mean, you even have legit streamers playing chess now, like
Yeah.
virtual chess, just cause
Yeah.
like I think the rise of chess kind of like just blew my mind, and I thought that
Yeah.
was really cool to see these many like big name streamers like really just playing chess, and it's more of a just chatting stream, obviously because it's
Yeah.
chess. There's not a lot of action, but at the same time, the people you see people jumping into different realms, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think I've seen a lot of GTA 5 start coming up even more now, right? Even more so now.
Yeah. With the no
Yeah,
pixel.
no pixel. They're doing the what's it called? It's like everyone is their own character and they're actually like trying to play a character in this universe in this game. So I think
Yeah.
that's been pretty fun to watch. You just pick a random person that's in the no pixel server, and they're actually like going through their day as like a cop, or like a
Yeah.
drug dealer, or like there was one dude that was literally I was watching him. He was literally just a taxi driver in the game,
Yeah.
and he's just picking people up and taking them different places and having conversations with them, and I thought that was hilarious. Like it was actually a really
Yeah. Yeah.
funny
It's awesome.
stream to watch. And so it definitely if you haven't checked out what's his name, Kyle, no Kyle, something like that. I think it's Kyle
Yeah.
on Twitch. He just GTA 5. He's a sheriff in the server, and he's hilarious. That dude's really funny.
Yeah.
Um but yeah, I mean all these people are just going to different games again, I think it's good. I think it's good that it split out a bit. But
Yeah.
competitive players, definitely you're seeing them in Apex. You're seeing them in
Yeah.
Valorant. Valorant competitive scene
Valorant
is
for sure.
growing. It's growing a lot right
Yeah.
now. They're just doing their new tournament series right now also. Um, and then obviously you have the ones that have always been around, League of Legends, um,
Yeah.
in those streamers. So I I have seen a fall off from Among Us and Fall Guys, and I'm kind
Hmm.
of wondering what the next big indie game is gonna be, because obviously those two games were indie games. They came out,
Yeah.
they made a lot of noise right away, and then they were
Yeah.
gone. But at the same time, like it leaves room for other indie games to still come in and be the next big
Yeah.
thing. So that's why I was kind of looking forward to this the Gorilla event, where they only do indie games. So I'm definitely
Yeah.
gonna check that out this week and see what new
Yeah.
games have come out, because I'm still into indie games. Like I still like I'm playing this new game that I downloaded because it was on PlayStation Plus for free. It's called Hollow Knight. So it's an
Yeah.
older
Yeah.
game.
Oh, nice.
So I'm playing Hollow Knight now, and dude, it's such an awesome game. I literally played it for 3 hours on Friday, and just like chilling by myself, just eating snacks and playing this game. Like it's really cool. It's really relaxing. It's fun. So I mean,
Yeah.
indie games are definitely still have their place. Um, but
Yeah.
you're gonna start seeing a lot of games, especially like Fortnite, start falling off right now. Um, even though
Yeah.
Fortnite did come out with their new like chapter, right? Chapter 2,
Yeah. I think it
season
comes out on eight on
7.
the June 8th. So this Tuesday, I
Okay.
think.
So does this mean they
Yeah.
wrapped up their Batman chapter?
I think
Okay.
so. Yes.
I was kind of following
Yeah.
it. I didn't follow it as much as the Marvel one.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's interesting. I really like that they do it. They did integrate these kind of like you know these like I said Batman and Marvel. Hopefully they they start getting into different it's definitely a way to bring in new people, I
Yeah.
guess, people that are interested in those in Marvel, DC. I even saw a rumor about them doing a Family Guy one, but that's
That'd be
probably not gonna happen.
hilarious.
There's some funny ones that they could bring out, and people are gonna come back into it. I guess Fortnite does a really good job on that.
Yeah.
But you know, games like you said, like Among Us. Among Us, even though it was an indie game, it really brought out a lot of personalities. That game was perfect for people seeing people's personalities, like Corpse and Valkyrie really grew.
Yeah.
Um, Courage and all those people, like Pokemon and all that whole group that used to always play together. Like they're all stars. They're on their own, their own teams now, and so just a lot of these games that are giving people opportunities is really nice to have. So hopefully there's an indie game that comes out, maybe that you know takes over just like Among
Yeah,
Us.
who knows? Or else everyone's gonna keep
Yeah.
watching all these crazy hot tub streamers. Have you heard
I
about
know,
that?
dude. That's
What the heck
Yeah.
happened?
It's weird, man. I see him. When I watch XQC, he's
Yeah.
always reacting to them or always talking about it. It's funny, man. And I saw like I think Pokimane did like a hot tub stream, but she had like
Yeah.
those shirts
Yeah.
that they kind of had the
And she
yeah.
had
So it
like a
was just
bunch of
funny. It
friends
was
in the
funny.
hot tub with her. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Those other people
Yeah.
from Among
For
Us. Yeah. So like
for those that don't
Totes and all
know,
them.
there's been a lot of talk around hot tub streamers lately. So literally just they're just chatting streams, but it's just like girls in a bikini in a hot tub, just chatting, just talking. And uh some people obviously were getting mad saying like this is inappropriate for Twitch, this isn't really even about gaming, and obviously just chatting isn't just about gaming, and Twitch isn't just about gaming. They have like music streams, sports streams, all that. But there was a lot of backlash, and I think the big name was Amaranth, where she got like kicked off,
Yeah.
and then she made an appeal and they let her back on, because technically she
Yeah.
didn't break any of the rules of Twitch. She yeah,
Yeah.
all her
The
clothes
rules
were
were.
on. She was just talking, which she usually does. She usually does just chatting streams, but I guess people complained, and she got kicked off. But I mean, it's kind of scary to think that Twitch can just kick someone off like that for them thinking that the rules are broken, even though they were never broken. Like it's one thing to ban
Yeah.
like who's been banned? XQC has been banned from Twitch before. Um,
XQC.
yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of people that have been banned for actually doing stuff that is
Hmm.
bannable. Doctor Disrespect, I remember he got banned because he was
Yeah.
recording in a bathroom, even though he wasn't showing anything. It's like
Yeah.
there are other people in there, and that's unacceptable. And yeah, that he broke the rules there, and he accepted it. But hot tub streamers, they just been, I don't know, man. It's weird, but at the same time, like it's all these guys online, they're gonna watch it, right? They're gonna watch that
Yeah.
just because it's a girl in a bikini in a hot tub. So there's been a lot of
Yeah.
talk about that lately, especially on Twitch. But
Yeah.
even then, I think it's important to see the effects of streaming and a lot of times what you see in games, like the numbers of people playing games, will not line up with the number of people watching specific streams, right? I think Minecraft is one of those games where it's probably still the number one. I mean, Roblox is up there too,
Yeah.
like number one, number two probably games of as far as player bases are
Yeah.
concerned. I mean, I know Apex just hit 100 million players, but these two, they're way over that. They've been
Yeah.
over that. And
Yeah.
but you don't necessarily see that many streams. I know Minecraft, you see quite a bit of streamers go into it, but you don't see the same number of streamers as you do for Apex, COD.
Yeah, definitely not big names. I guess if you there is some of the bigger names that are watched by really
Yeah,
loyal fan bases like Dream and Tommy in it, and there's a bunch of these videos. They have like 200,000 200,000 watchers, but you don't really see them that often. And even if they are playing, they play for like
yeah,
a few hours or something like that. But then yeah, you definitely Minecraft is just I think it's
yeah,
timeless, right? You could jump in there at any point and it's just a different
yeah,
experience every time. So there's just it's almost that perfect. It's Minecraft is the
yeah.
perfect
They
game
have their new
because
update.
that it's definitely timeless. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they
So
had a new update too, right?
it's
Minecraft.
fun. Yeah, their new update's coming out on
Okay.
Tuesday as well. They're 1.17 part one. They had to split them up into two because they're adding a new cave
Oh, cool.
system. So their caves are going to be like a lot more explorable. It's going to be more of an adventure, as well as they're adding like mountains. So they're really changing their world generation. So they had to delay that part to December or fall actually. So technically, it's gonna be winter, I
Okay.
guess, winter fall. So their first part is coming out Tuesday, and the second part in fall,
Nice.
for our winter. And yeah, it's pretty big. People are looking forward to it. It's gonna probably be at least the second part will probably be very very big because there hasn't been this kind of change. I guess the last update they did was they changed the Nether, so they're really focusing on changing their game up. They're probably gonna do the end and a bunch
Hmm.
of this. Yeah, I don't know if you've never played Minecraft, you've never you know jumped into a server or something like that. Give it a try. It's fun. You there's definitely different ways to play Minecraft. There's Pixelmon. There's so many different mods you can play on Minecraft. So definitely give it a try if you've never tried it.
Yeah, definitely. And then if you're just interested in seeing like what kind of gameplay it is, obviously go on Twitch, go on YouTube, watch someone stream it. There's all kinds of streamers out
Yeah,
there. There's so many different things you can be doing in Minecraft. It's pretty fun. Yeah.
hardcore worlds are pretty
Oh yeah,
fun.
the
Speed
speedruns.
runs. There's different. Yeah,
Yeah.
so many different ways to
Yeah,
watch it.
definitely check out those streams. Um, on the topic of streaming, I actually wanted to talk about specific streamers. So I mentioned some big names, and one of the big ones that I mentioned was Nick Merckx. So Nick Merckx, if you didn't know, he's part of FaZe Clan, right? Well, he was part of FaZe Clan. Now he's actually a part owner of FaZe Clan. And the same thing with
Yeah.
Valkyrie and Courage. Both of them were just
Mm.
streamers that were part of these gaming groups. So this was 100 Thieves. So 100 Thieves is more than just gaming, right? They're like a whole like lifestyle
The
brand.
brand.
Yeah.
They're
But they also, Valkyrie and Courage, have become part owners of 100 Thieves. Um, and I know there's a little drama in there too, because I think Valkyrie and Courage were first announced, and then like a week later they announced Nick Merckx being part owner of FaZe. And
oh yeah.
if you guys didn't know,
Oh yeah.
Nick Merckx had a falling out with 100 Thieves a long time ago, so
Yeah.
it was almost like a slap in the face to them.
Like a
Yeah,
black star. Yeah, yeah, definitely.
yeah,
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that when that happened, there was a big drama because people are saying that. they had this agreement between Nick Merckx
Hmm.
and Nate Shot, and then they had the falling out, like you said. So it was interesting to see that FaZe did that. FaZe does have a lot of owners
Yeah,
though,
they do. Yeah.
so I guess it's not their owners are like FaZe Apex, Banks, and a bunch of
Isn't Drake? Isn't
I forget
Drake
who
a part
Tommy
owner?
is. No,
Oh, Hundred
Drake's a
Thieves. You're
partner
right.
of
Yeah,
Hundred
yeah,
Thieves.
that's true.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But and FaZe has always had owners. I don't know how much ownership they do have, but they have like
Yeah.
5 owners, I think, that are actually players. So I guess 100 Thieves isn't the first ones to do it. And again, Nick Merckx was technically a part owner of 100 Thieves.
Hmm.
Him and Nate Shot were the first two that started 100 Thieves. Um, so it was interesting. I mean, I'm good for Valkyrie and Courage. Courage, especially Courage, came out of nowhere. Like I
Yeah.
said, he was he was a commentator on the Call of
Yeah.
Duty scene. So him coming out of nowhere, and especially Valkyrie, it's big for women and big for women empowerment and for people to see that
Yep.
that's possible. And again, these people came from Among Us. Among Us really brought out people's personalities, and it showed that people can be content creators rather than just
Yep.
gamers, right? There all these people that they're picking up, they're content creators. 100 Thieves understands that they got to pick up content creators rather than
Hmm.
just gamers. So they're really on the forefront of that and understanding that um, their roster, I guess you could say, is a lot of people that are going to be timeless and going to be able to do multiple things with their company. But it's interesting. Good for all
Yeah.
them. It's a big step for gaming, and definitely it'll give them uh, a different point of view, I guess, from their
Yeah,
content
and
creators.
yeah, all that is really important because I mean they're basically the ones creating the revenue back towards these groups and these
Yeah.
companies, like you said. I mean, if you're looking at a traditional company, like for example, like the company I work for, it's a consulting firm. If you get someone that's a partner, like they worked up through your ranks, they became a partner, and they're like dedicated to growing this business, right? They're bringing in clients from
Mhm.
outside. They're like business development people, and they do sales and they do delivery, they do everything. And I think finally,
Mhm.
like the gaming companies or especially these like content creator groups are getting to that point where they're big enough now where they can both get these streamers to be partners with them, but also they can profit share with them, right? So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
It's motivation for
yeah,
them
that's the
to do
motivation
better.
behind it. Like 100 Thieves, like the depending on how well they do in a given year or a fiscal year, they're gonna give a percentage of that now to the partners, and they're gonna share in the
Yeah.
profits. So obviously the incentive there is to create better content, to create more content. I know Courage right away, literally the same week that it was announced that he was a partner, he said, "All right, I'm looking for someone to sign to 100 Thieves now." Like I now have
Yeah.
a say in this, so like shoot your shot. Like a lot of people were posting videos on Twitter tagging a Courage GT on it and all that, and I thought that was really cool because he's giving people a chance.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like he got this power, this partnership, and now he's like, okay, I want to right away, I want to start developing this business. So yeah, he's like over here. Yes, he's
Yeah.
still creating his content. He's still on YouTube. Obviously, he has the exclusive deal with YouTube for streaming and all that. But now he's focused on 100 Thieves, not just as a brand, but as a company, right? He is interested in
Yeah.
the business model. He's interested in what additional things he can bring to the table to make them grow. And I think that's really important
Yeah.
to see that gamers can get to that level now. Because before it was almost like I compare it to old school like music labels where you had all the executives over here and all the artists. And the executives chose what the
Yeah.
artists were gonna do. Yeah, they
They
never
never
crossed up.
crossed.
And then eventually
Yeah.
you get to like the
Yeah.
Jay-Z's, the Kanye's, and all these people that create their own or even independent artists now that have been able to create their own story. Now you have streamers that are able to cross that line to get part ownership. And I
Yeah.
know I know Nade Shot, obviously he was a gamer before, but he had to make
Yeah.
investment, and obviously he had help from investors to kind of look at his vision.
Mm, yeah,
He was already a businessman coming into it. He wasn't
yeah,
a streamer that just crossed over like some of these others have the opportunity to do now. So
yeah,
I think that's really cool. I think seeing these groups grow and really looking at it from a business perspective is it's a big deal because now people are going to start
yeah,
treating 100 Thieves and FaZe Clan and like Team Solo Mid I think just signed one of the biggest deals in video game history. It's like a $200 million deal with some Asian company also on talent management.
jeez,
Like that's a big deal and
wow,
and
yeah,
seeing all this happen now is it's really good because you're seeing gaming get to the level almost of like sports, right? Like
yeah,
almost like sports
yeah, definitely,
management. So I think it's really cool. I think it's really good to see them growing.
yeah,
It's awesome, especially if you've been following these streamers for a while now, being able to see them cross
yeah,
the line from
yeah,
being a small streamer just in your room to like now being a part owner of a big company, like
owner,
multi-million-dollar company. Like that's a big deal, and it's
yeah.
awesome to see.
Yeah, that's why I used to watch a lot of like I've mentioned Optic and Optic Hex. Hex is Nate was obviously part of Optic. That's where he really grew his business side was through Optic Hex. Optic Hex was
Hmm.
his mentor, and just seeing them grow up and like you said become this is just kind of gives you gratification that you watch these people and now they're doing big things. It makes it feel like it's heading in the right direction because you know that the people that are in charge are the right people to see your or at least be open to ideas that us gamers are going to be interested in, I guess, rather than having some big top shot executives that don't know anything about gaming that are going to be taking over, the gaming scene and then giving us horrible content and horrible, brands and brand deals and whatever else. So definitely get their understanding that they have to get their content or their at least their business their business from their
Yeah.
their content creators because that's who's going to know their
Yep.
business
Definitely.
best, I guess.
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense. So definitely still keeping a close eye on this. Obviously, I think we're gonna see more and more big name streamers be able to get
Yeah,
this type of access, and I'm looking forward to what they add to the table, right? Like besides being just streamers,
yeah,
obviously Courage right off the bat going and trying to sign other people. I think that's a good sign.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. And I think Valkyrie signed
oh yeah.
Leslie. She's another one of the Among
Oh
Us
cool.
streamers.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that whole group of Among Us. I think they're
Yeah,
they're gonna
they're
sign a
bringing each
lot of
other
those
up.
people.
Yeah.
Like yeah. They're all helping each other. So yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, man. If you get this
More power to
success,
them, especially
yeah, if
women.
you get
Women,
that
yeah,
success, man, bring your friends up with you. That's the goal. That's
yeah.
yeah.
Makes it more fun with when you're enjoying something like that. It makes it
Yep.
more enjoyable for
Winning with
people
the
to watch
homies.
as well.
Yep.
So
Yeah, so we'll see where that goes. But that basically wraps up this episode for us. I do want to end with recommendations as we always do. And I'll actually start off on this one. We've touched on this game before. It's obviously not a brand new game, but Star Wars Squadrons is my recommendation. For this reason, if you have PlayStation Plus, it's a free game right now to download. And
oh shoot, I think
yeah, I
$60.
mean, when did it come out? September?
Yeah, we were talking about it probably
Yeah,
sometime in late
it
fall,
yeah.
winter. Yeah, it was
I think
October
it came
maybe.
out. It came out,
Yeah, it
and it
was.
was. I think it was too expensive for people. It was $60. Even right now, if you try to buy it, it's like $40 still. And obviously,
Yeah,
it didn't like tank as much as like Marvel's Avengers did. But even then, like Star Wars Squadrons, a lot of people didn't play it, and I think a lo- people did play, but it had a really high skill cap. Uh, so and
yeah,
I'm not trying to convince you guys to not play. I want you guys to play because if you have PlayStation Plus, it's free. I know that Game Pass has a they've signed something with EA, right, to do the Star Wars games. So it might
yeah,
be on there. I'm not sure. I haven't looked into that. So it might be on Game Pass. So check it out. It might be there.
yeah.
But it's definitely on PlayStation Plus this month as a free game. So download that because I need a squad. So we could definitely play. Uh, and yeah, so that's my recommendation. I think it's a really cool game. Again, it's difficult. It's really close to like I wouldn't say to the extent of Flight Simulator because that's really hard, obviously. But it you have to really pay attention to your controls and to like your shields, your weaponry, everything. Like it's way more complicated than just like the Rogue Leader games or something like that from back in the day. Um,
Yeah,
but even then, it's a game that I think is worth giving a shot, especially if it's free. So yeah, that's my recommendation for the week.
sounds cool. For me, I guess I'll go with
Minecraft, yeah.
Minecraft. The new update.
Tuesday,
Yeah,
right?
that's I guess that and Apex are
Tuesday.
the yeah Tuesday. Yeah, that and Apex have been the two
Oh yeah.
things I've been playing lately. There hasn't been much going on, but yeah, the new Minecraft update. It's always fun to start
Yeah.
a new world, and I know a bunch of my friends want it, are they're excited for it. So usually I'm the one that's talking Minecraft, and they're all the yeah everyone's hitting me up like trying to start a world
Yeah.
now. So I'm like, all right, well, I guess if people are interested, I'll play. Yeah, so
Yeah.
give it a try. Comes out Tuesday, and the second part's gonna come out winter. That the winter one is gonna be way bigger, and I know a lot of people are gonna be playing that for
Mhm.
sure. But this next one, they're bringing out a bunch of blocks and a bunch of like different mobs and stuff like
Cool.
that. So be pretty
Nice.
cool. Check it
And you
out.
mentioned Apex. I do want to say Apex, the new game mode, versus three. Like, yeah.
The arenas,
If you're tired
yeah,
of the battle royale games, and I know a lot of people are tired of Warzone and having gone
hmm
back to Apex because of that, definitely check out the new game mode. I guess it's not even new anymore. It's just it's a permanent game mode now, but uh, check it out because it's
yeah,
actually really fun and it's a different spin on the game itself. So obviously,
yeah.
yeah,
Definitely change the
change of pace. It
pace.
has buying phases and all that, so it's really cool, and I'm really enjoying it too. So check that out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so again, we are Quickscope Podcast, brought to you by Higher Passion Entertainment. I want to thank you for joining us. Again, I'm Kiros. This is Serge, and GG's.
GG's.